July 28th, 2024. High off the glass. Learn Something podcast with Damon Hill mashup. Want to say big shout out to all my fans and followers today. Got a special show today. Special guest, whole family hustle. Mr. Keith White, Miss Laveau White. They'll be here pretty soon. Until then, you got me, one and only, by himself. Big shout out to our sponsors today, St. Louis Cannabis Club and the Cola Lounge. St. Louis Cannabis Club and the Cola Lounge. These are wonderful sponsors who are bringing High Off the Glass to you today. Once again, this is the Learn Something podcast with Damon Hill mashup show with the whole family hustle as my guest today. Feel free to give us a phone call, 515-599-1687. 515-599-1687. That way you can call in, speak with me. You can speak with anybody from my guests, Justin if you want to. But we got a lot we're going to get into and discover today. Black love, business, writing, family, Project 2025, if we can, a little sports. Matter of fact, before we get started, as we get started, on this day in NBA history, July 28th, since this is still high off the glass as well, and y'all know we marijuana and basketball. A couple of different birthdays on this day in NBA history. Manu Ginobili, Doug Collins, and a St. Louis favorite, Bill Bradley.
I thought you said Bill Lambier.
Nah, that's our lovely co-host.
I think somebody called my name.
Justin Kickett from My City Music. But one thing I do want to get into a little bit before my guests get here. I don't know if you know anything about Project 2025.
We talked about it on my show, actually. And there's like 25 different points, and none of them even make sense. And so I don't even know where they get this stuff from.
It's a lot of different things that's entailed in that. I mean, there's one that says there's one particular part where anyone who graduates from a public school has to automatically register for selective service.
I believe that. And a lot of it was like all the gay and trans rights and all that. Those are all being reversed. And pretty much anything that's been decided over the past 5 to 10 years is basically being reversed. So,
and it's like if Project 2025 is going to be granting the police immunity from prosecution, I don't see how any upstanding black man, white man, whoever will want to go for that. I mean, with the way that the police actually treats the average American, like I'm saying, that's not just black people. The police they treat a lot of people wrong. Naturally, I'm not gonna say naturally, but it does happen with us a lot more. But with just knowing that that Project 2025 is going to be giving the police immunity to do whatever they want, I don't understand how anybody would want to, institute that. That's like one of the closest things to.
Well, what's going on? It's from the Heritage Foundation, is what it is. So we'll have to look more into them. But there's
the Heritage Foundation is a bunch of people who are ex-staffers who work for Donald Trump. Okay. Everyone with the Heritage Foundation.
Presidential, it's
has a tie to Donald Trump.
Presidential Transition Project.
But he'll try to say that he doesn't know anything about anyone who works with the Heritage Foundation. Yeah, I've done some research on that as well. That's one thing that you got to do, people. Do your research. Don't just follow with a trend or whatever. Do actual research and find out what's going on with some of these different topics.
Yeah, I pulled it up on my show. I'm trying to find it on here. It's got all the you don't want to go to their website. You want to it's a wish list is what it basically it is.
So until we bring that up, we're going to touch on a little basketball, like with Team USA. South Sudan, that particular game. Uh, these guys have gotten great training and great facilities from the hands of Luau Deng, who out of his own pocket financed the whole basketball facility and team for the country. That's why they're making the strides that they're making. Shout out to them for getting the win yesterday too in their first ever Olympic game. But Team USA might be in for a little problem with the injuries to Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid, and Anthony Davis. I know Anthony Davis stuff is kind of light, but Joel Embiid is kind of light too. But KD stuff kind of serious. You can't be soft on the inside in international play. You're gonna lose, and it's not gonna be good. In any form of basketball, if you don't have a good inside play, it's not gonna work out for you. Hopefully, Justin is finding some of this info that we're looking for about Project 2025. Once again, if anybody wants to give us a phone call, it's 515-599-1687. 515-599-1687 if you want to call in and broach any topic or bring up anything you want us to talk about now or in the future. Any guests you think we may need to have on the show, or if you want to be on the show, give us a phone call. We can chop it up live.
900 pages.
900 pages.
Yeah. So.
As far as Project 2025. So it's like you have to really be wanting to seek this information out because they're trying to make it to
hide
work.
it. They hide the
Right,
important stuff.
They hide the important stuff within the pages. So you really got to really do your research instead of going off what Tom, Dick, and Harry said, which is what I found I was doing myself until I had to really get in and find some info out. And unfortunately, I don't have my notes with me right now.
Yeah, I had the checklist. So yeah, as far as the dream team, that's that's not the dream team. That's just the USA team.
Now
they're trying to take basketball. I guess so. There's a European league, I guess, right? And the Wimbledon is from France. French.
There's leagues all over the world. The European League is one of the best leagues outside of the NBA, if not the top league.
Okay.
Wemby, the guy you're speaking about,
he
plays for France. I watched him yesterday against Greece. I'm not sorry, against Brazil. I saw Greece and Canada playing, but Wemby, he did his thing. He did his thing for real.
So he's on the French team. That's where he was born.
Yeah. He's of French descent. I think his family, well, he's from France, but I think his family has African descent. For instance, like Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's from Greece, but his family has African descent.
Oh, okay.
Right. Actually, I was just telling somebody about, there was a couple of movies that came out about Giannis's life. The one that came out on the Disney Channel was really good. It was really good. I encourage a lot of people to watch that. And it gave me a greater respect for Giannis and his brother and his family on a whole. They went through a whole lot to get to where they are, and it was really a testimony of brotherly love and family love for real. And we finally been graced with the presence of my esteemed guest. That would be from the whole family HuSTLe, Mr. Keith White. I don't have no applause. We gonna go with that, cause I ain't like Biggie. I ain't doing my own edits. Oh, they right here. No wonder. Keith White, everybody, aka K Swift. To those, but you ain't. If you don't know, you don't know. We don't even get into that aspect. But good afternoon, sir. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, my man.
You rolling solo today, or
No, my better half is on the way.
That's cool. That's good. So before she get here, then me and this guy got a lot of history together. We've been on the roads, around doing a lot of wild things, having a lot of fun. Some things mentionable, some things unmentionable. But that was a long, long, long time ago. We are older guys now. We don't live like that no more. But we have some memories. How you feeling today, though?
Man, I'm feeling pretty good.
That's good. That's good. I said you got a different kind of cigar than I got, but that's cool though. You know, that's cool. Before the wife get in, tell the people a little about yourself though.
Um,
Where you from?
well, I'm from the north side, St. Louis, Walnut Park to be exact. Been around for a minute. Rapped. A lot of people know me as K Swift the Butcher. Um,
Yeah, that's how we met.
yeah, doing shows all over the city, opening for everybody. You could pretty much imagine in the '90s. Now I've progressed. You know, I write, I do screenplays, a number of things. Let me see. I create fragrances, publish books, act.
Okay,
That's
okay,
that's my latest
okay.
my latest venue that I'm venturing off into is the acting.
All right. Before we get it delve into some of the things that he just said, uh, I need to let y'all know he being a little modest. I mean, there's some people out here that can verify some of his freestyling skills. Uh, that's to let people know you don't have to have no CD out or no shit like that to be known as far as what you do and be respected for your craft. This man was well respected for his craft in the streets of St. Louis, on the stages of St. Louis. Come on, man. There's people. Mike Checker, you know what's up. Shout out to you, Mike Checker. That's my guy. But we ain't gonna talk about that night at Sonny's. I still remember that line. He told that man, "You want beef? You ain't even got no teeth." But we ain't gonna
Ancient history, man.
we ain't gonna dwell on the past.
That's
too
my
much.
man, Mike Check.
That's my
That's
guy.
my
Though.
guy.
Yeah, he's nice though. But let's get into more about like you say, your endeavors now. Like you say, as far as your writing, I originally met you writing a different kind of way. The writing that you have in your life now. Expound upon that per se.
Um, well, I got with a shout out to my man Droop, another MC from back in the day. Fep Squad, my whole clique,
Shout out, Drew.
thick clique, you know, all my guys. And damn, where was I going? Oh, my guys though. And the writing that I have now, I got with a collective through my guy Drew called the New Wave Collective, and it's just basically a collaborative group of artists, directors, writers, producers, cameramen, actors, comedians. It's just a group of us. We decided to get together and just put all our talents, no matter what it was, whether it be writing, directing, or whatever. So, meeting all of these new different people from the area, you know, I've had different opportunities. I just got into recently executive producing television programs and movies and that kind of a thing. And, you know, some guys I was directing or that direct out of the collective said, you know what, we think you would make this really good character in our movie that we're doing.
Okay.
And, you know, I'm not an actor. I've never formally said, okay, I give it a try.
But you're a creative. You're an artist still, though,
Yeah, I do
at
everything,
heart.
anything I can that's artistic. I will attempt or try. And I did a little something. And
How long ago was that when you first got in? Was it a reading or when
yeah.
it first came to you? Like, man, you should probably think about this.
Well, I was in a short. I'm in a
Okay.
short that was written by my wife, Laveau White. It's coming out shortly. It's a little short. It's maybe like 5-10 minutes long, but real nice. And I just tried it, and I kind of liked it. They said I came off real well on camera.
Okay.
So it led me to another role that I'm in the middle of shooting right now. I play a hitman for a mob boss, and that's been fun to step into that character and develop it and see where I can go with things behind the camera or in front of the camera rather.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you. Do you feel more comfortable writing? Do you feel more comfortable producing or on in front of the camera?
I'm always comfortable writing because that's what started everything. So I've always been a comfortable writer. I think now I still prefer behind the camera. There was a time when I craved that being in front of the camera.
Well, I want to stop you real quick because you just said something that really speaks to me, and a lot of people for that matter. When you said writing is where it started for you, let's go back to that love of when that actually did start. You feel what I mean? Like, was it creative? Was it a creative writing class in school that we used to have? Because I remember they used to have us do that, creative writing, and some guys they liked it, some guys didn't, because they weren't used to letting their mind go in different places. You feel what I mean?
Yeah.
So, speak on that a little bit as far as where that love started and grew from.
I would say it goes back to like first grade.
Damn, that's early.
Yeah,
That's early.
it goes back to first grade. I remember my teacher in the first grade telling me that I was witty. And this was
Okay.
5, 6, 7 years old.
What school was you at?
Nativity of Our Lord, a school that does not even exist anymore.
I remember Nativity.
In the middle of the hood.
Tell them about it.
Every
Private
school I went, I think I went to every school in Walnut Park that you could probably name because I used to get kicked out of school a lot. That's a whole nother other story.
So when your teacher tells you you're witty, now as we're older, we know that teacher meant a couple of things. She recognizing you intelligent. She or he, I don't know what
It was a female.
She recognizing you intelligent. She also recognizing she wants to say you're a little smart ass, but she can't say it. You feel what I'm saying? Because we've been around little kids before that are intelligent, and some that are more intelligent than others.
Yeah.
Some that are witty.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. She was like, "Oh, okay, you a little something here. Let me challenge you." Was it like that, or you feel what I mean?
No, it wasn't like that. It was more so I was the type of person I always stepped out of the box. I never liked to fit into the cookie cutter. You do it this way, that way. I always wanted to do things my way, even as a very young child. So even my writing, when I started writing, I heard a lot of guys around me and their styles and what they was doing, what they were writing, and it never appealed to me. I always wanted my own lane. So in all of my writing, I always would take I would push myself imaginatively to come up with fresh, different, new sounding things. So it's just always been like that with me. No matter what I write, I never want to go down that same path that I've seen a million people do.
Okay. And this is a little along the lines, but off the subject a little bit because I respect your. People know I love music, and I love music, but I respect this man's opinion musically above a lot of people. And just in the realm of what we just talking about a little bit, it was an article I had seen not too long ago about the best storytelling rhymes in hip hop. Just give me your top 3 real quick. I ain't gonna ask you for no whole list or no shit. Just give me your top 3 stories to you.
Top 3 stories. What particularly?
Hip hop.
Any story.
Top 3 to you. I'm just saying. Top 3 to you. Any story. Any story.
Man, there's so many.
I know. That's why I said just 3. Just 3. Just 3.
I remember when Keith Murray came to a club. And
No. I mean storytelling songs.
Storytelling
songs. That's what
See?
I mean.
Okay.
My bad.
Okay.
Storytelling songs.
I'm finna go down. You finna have me talk about.
No, we ain't trying to do that. We ain't trying to do that. That's a whole. We really don't have enough time. But that's a whole nother story.
Let me see. Scarface would have to be one of the top 3 on storytelling.
I mean, like throw out a song. That's what I mean. Like,
I never seen a man cry till I seen a man die.
okay.
Who else? I love Nas. When he told the story backwards, I love that.
That was my man already right there.
Right, Nas. Was that Illmatic 2?
That was
Off that
was
Illmatic 2, Stillmatic, yeah.
Yeah, actually, this is one of the guys who introduced me to Nas. For anybody who wants to know, because they'd be like, "Damn, you listen to a whole lot of Nas." He's the reason. I'm telling you.
Now, should I pick somebody from the newer school?
You got one more.
All old.
You can do whatever you want. You got one more. That's 2.
And of course, like a Slick Rick, something like that, a classic,
Okay.
If I was just going top 3, Outkast, they tell real nice stories at times. Gosh, here you go.
You already know what that is. I got a story to tell. Anyway, we ain't gonna even go there because me and this dude could talk hip hop for hours, and I do mean hours.
Facts.
But, let's get into, like I said, I had to go there though because, like I said, I respect your opinion a lot. When it just to bring it back to what we was talking about as far as things now, speak a little about your fragrances.
Well, everybody wants to know, how did I get into fragrances?
Right.
Because it's so left field from
where did that idea originate from?
Actually, I would have to give that credit to my wife. She, as a gift, I can't remember if it was Father's Day or something like that. She said, I want to take you somewhere. And she took me to a fragrance development shop. And to make my own fragrance, that was like one of my gifts. And as I was going through the whole thing and creating my scent or whatever, I came up with a unique, one-of-a-kind scent that I just really just made for me. But I started wearing it everywhere. And everybody would always stop me like, what is that you have on? What is that you have on? What is it? What? I've never smelled it before. So that led me to say, I created my own scent that everybody likes. Let me see if I could mass produce it or at least, sell it to, if nothing else, my...
I just had to bring that along real quick
Okay,
because something that you said right there, that was muy importante. You had an, I'm not even going to say an epiphany. Like you said, you were brainstorming. You thought about it like, man, damn.
Well, I'm always looking for the next.
What I mean as well, though, is there are a lot of people who get to that point mentally where you were at, it's almost like a crossroads where it's like, do I jump in or do I keep sitting up here thinking and wondering? You feel what I'm saying? What is it that pushed you or drove you to go that direction instead of this direction? That direction meaning I'm going to go ahead and push through with this idea.
Well, I mean, I come from a family of hustlers, you know. Not hustle. You know, people tend to put hustler under a bad connotation because they tend to think that hustler means doing something illegal. Or to me, hustle means just making something out of nothing, where you can, you know, see something or see a lane and you attack it. That's how everybody in my family is, from the women to the men, have always been hustlers. I've always seen people in my family. They may have had good jobs, but they still did something on the side, whether it was fixing cars or
Shout out Uncle Marty.
selling makeup or Tupperware. They always had some kind of side hustle going in my family. It was always something. They didn't just do what
9 to 5.
right.
So is that where the mentality
Yeah.
for the name of the whole family hustle?
Yeah, that's exactly where it came from, because and everybody around me hustles. And it's kind of contagious. If you around me or my family or friends, we usually got something going elsewhere. We may have our main income, you know, that keeps the lights on or whatever, but we always need extra money for this, extra money for that. We want to do this. We want to go there. We want to do this. So I'm always a guy who's always looking for the extra. Where can I make some money here? If I got a minute here. I started a T-shirt company. I started doing that, you know, just making specialty T-shirts for friends and family and things like that. And I'm always looking for the next hustle: stocks, bonds, crypto. You know.
So have you, with your writing skills, have you thought about writing a book? Because I know
I've thought about it. I've thought about it, but I kind of leave that to her, because it takes a certain type of discipline to sit down and churn out a whole book.
Tell it, man.
And I have discipline, but I don't choose to focus my discipline in that way. I leave that to her. She's the author. She's, you know.
Well, but when you think about writing movies, you know, you gotta.
That's a little different to me.
Explain.
It's not, but it is.
Explain how you mean.
I should say the format of it. The format of it is different. So I guess the appeal of the format of how you do a screenplay or something is different than the discipline that it takes to sit down and churn out a book, chapter after chapter after chapter. So I just think I prefer that discipline a little more, or it appeals to me more than sitting down writing an entire book.
I mean, it's still multiple characters.
It is,
layers.
and you know, I still may. I'm not really just counting it out like saying I'll never write a book. But right now, I don't have the yearning for writing a novel.
It ain't got to be a novel, because that autobiography.
That's a novel from me. Yes. We got.
I mean, you got some.
There's a dictionary.
I know for a fact. You got some stories to tell, and it's not. When people say that, it's not meant in a derogatory type way. You know, we just know, like I said, someone who I know personally, and you know, we've been on the road and all kind of different things together. Just having a ball and living life and experiencing different things together. And like you say, when you know somebody got a specific kind of story to tell that would really entertain people, whether if it's from an entertainment aspect or from a learning aspect, because you know everybody has a story to tell per se, but how much of your story is going to teach people something? You know what I'm saying? Or something that me and a coworker had a discussion about years ago, and I could ask you this: how you think people would listen to the how do you think people would receive the soundtrack of your life? You know what I'm
Um,
saying? Just
yeah.
because that's what's gonna be played at my memorial. My soundtrack.
Perceive the sound. That would be different.
Because you got a
Yeah,
lot of different music
right.
that you listen to at different times in your
And
life.
I feel like two lives I've lived at certain times. So,
Uh-oh. Speak on that.
ooh,
I
from
mean, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I've been I've done a lot of things that I never ever thought I would do in my life, and I've tried a lot of things and been a lot of places, and it would go so up and down. It would almost be a bipolar soundtrack. If that, it may go from classical music to
It's
heavy
supposed to.
metal.
It's supposed. It's supposed
You know what I'm
to, though.
saying? So
That's what I feel. I feel like
and
it is,
everything in between that. So
it
you know.
literally is supposed to. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's no way that you can't tell somebody that you're gonna listen to just one or two different kinds of music for your whole life. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And how would you be able to investigate or learn about different sounds or different ways this country listen to music? You know what I'm saying? And how they appreciate their music per se. Um, Another thing I did want to get into, like you said, like we was talking about before, as far as the acting and writing and marriage. Um, how long have you guys been married now, anyway?
Um, 16 years.
16 years. That's a nice long time.
Yeah, 16 years.
How do you think or feel marriage has affected your life as a, because you didn't get married as a young man per se. You made sure you actually lived life and went through certain things and aspects. Whereas I made a mistake and I got married very young. A whole different dichotomy. Um, how do you feel marriage has changed your mentality or your life? Outlook on life or perspective.
I say it helped me become a grown man. You know, you get a certain age and you are a man, of course, and you handling your business or whatever. But another level happens when you have a child or when you get married. It changes your out view because you're no longer just looking out for you. You have a whole thing to provide for and protect, and so it grows you as a man maturely. It makes you into a well-rounded, actual grown person as opposed to just being a man.
Now, did you ever think that you would get married
Yeah.
before you did?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? It's so crazy because me and her were just talking about this the other day, and I was telling her I saw myself when I was a child. I saw myself when I was grown. I was gonna be wearing suits and briefcases and going to work every day. Like I saw that when I was a kid, which is so crazy. Now I don't do that actually. That I'm grown, but.
I'm thinking about that picture I seen back in the day on 5800. You know the picture I'm talking about too. He thought he was a little stylish dude. Don't get it twisted.
Well, you know what? That's the craziest thing. Okay, my mother always tried to keep me in private school and that kind of thing. But all of the private schools and stuff were located in the hood, so it's like I would go to school and be around this pristine environment where people are learning and expressing different kinds of thought patterns and ways of thinking and handling things. But then I would go right outside the door when the bell rang and be right in the hood. So
Literally,
for real. So it was like I had a duality type of
It was like I'm getting this private school education. At the
Right.
same time, I'm straight up getting the streets
Right,
education
right,
because
right.
everybody I hang with go to public school.
Right, because I was supposed to be going to Northwest, which is probably at the time, it's not around anymore, but at the time, it probably was one of the wildest, if not the wildest school in St. Louis.
Sweet.
And then right around the corner from there is Cardinal Ritter, and that's where I went to school. You know, my mother wouldn't let me go to Northwest because of the neighborhood. But like I say, I would come right out the door, and there's the hood. Whoa, all my friends and homies, and you know, so I kind of got the best of both worlds, if that makes any sense.
And actually, with Cardinal Ritter back then, you're talking about a really unique experience because you're talking about an all-black Catholic school in
Black
Missouri.
Catholic school.
You know what I'm saying? And getting a chance to experience that curriculum, because I always tell people, you know, but I've realized it's the child. It has to be the correct curriculum for the child to prosper. You know, just because, like you say, just because I'm in Cardinal Ritter, I might get kicked out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I did get kicked out.
You see, but
yeah.
just like where I was at, I'm at a gifted school, but I wasn't doing no homework, and I was about to be looking like crazy, but I did a whole lot of stuff to graduate on time, and I graduated on time. June 1st, 1989, 35 years ago. Yeah. Sodan Tigers in the house. Classical Senior Academy. Y'all know what it is. Maroon and gold. Not that maroon and white.
We was maroon and white, yeah. Respect that line.
But I got much
line
love for
pride.
Cardinal Ritter. I got
Respect
much
that
love
line
for the Lions.
pride.
As a matter of fact, Chris Redding, we need to have you on the show, dog, because you and the Lady Mambas, man, hey, cuz is getting it in.
Hell yeah.
They just did work in Chicago this weekend. Shout out to Chris Redding and the Lady Mambas, his AAU basketball team. You know, this is
My big cousin.
Yeah, he's that's his cousin, and he's a Ritter graduate as well.
As well.
And everybody know about Chris. If you don't, look him up, and you're gonna be like, man, he was scoring like that.
I also got another cousin that play. He went pro, Jahidi White.
That's right, Jahidi White. That's
It's
right.
It's in the family, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's the whole family hustling, as y'all see. Like, hey, matter of fact, Jahidi got a son now at I forgot where he at. I don't want to say the wrong school. You see the MICDS, John Burroughs. It's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's a big boy too. But as far as the reception that you, just to get back on what we were speaking about before, the reception on your scents.
Yeah. Back to the scents. I developed 2 scents. One is, the original scent was white number 7.
White number 7 is the original scent?
White number 7 is the original scent. That's the one that started it all, that had everybody, oh, what is that you have on? And I had so much. Once people found out I was developing a scent, then everybody was putting in orders, people trying to give me money and stuff. And I'm like, nah, don't give me money yet. I'm not ready for that at this particular time. But they were putting in pre-orders, so I had got up to maybe like $20,000 worth of sales and hadn't even developed the scent yet. So I was like, okay, I really need to get on this,
Right.
which led to me developing a second scent, which is black number 7.
So we got white number 7, and we got black number 7.
Black number 7.
And we got them at what price? For how much of an ounce?
I don't want to quote that price right now.
Oh, okay.
You know, because I started at one price, but the demand and the overhead and everything as I was going to develop the business and finding out all the extra stuff it was, I found out about all the extra overhead and the extra marketing, and you know, so right now I'm in the process of shooting a commercial with the help of my friend Droop, my homeboy Droop. He's on the marketing team. Actually, he's the head of the marketing team. So
Yeah, we need y'all to register with redblackandvegan.com.
Okay. Sounds
Y'all
like a
minority
plan.
business, but y'all not plant based.
And in development, I have a gray number 7 on the way.
Now, I'm glad you said that. Now, the first one you said once again was white number 7, right?
White number 7.
Hints of what in that scent?
Ooh. It's I can't even describe that scent, man, because I went through maybe over 200 scents.
You got anything on you?
No, I don't. I don't have anything on me, but I don't think they could smell that over the camera anyway.
Oh no, we have a beautiful young lady in the in the audience, and we're gonna let her do a scent test.
Okay, okay. Well,
Yeah, shout out to the curly vegan, one and only. But now you say you got a newer scent called Gray
Gray
Seven.
number 7. Yeah,
Why,
that's
what's the
not a,
significance with the number 7?
because a lot of people see things in black and white, but there's always a gray area. So I created a scent. The white is more of a playful. You wear outside when you're casual, but you want to smell fresh, and you want to smell nice when you out doing
that's
your
what the people
thing,
wanna
just
know. You gotta
moving through the
describe your scent.
streets. I would say the black is more of a formal. It's more of when you dress, when you doing your thing, you to the nines, you stepping out at nighttime, and you looking right and clothes right. And you got an event to be at. That's that black number 7. But now the gray is more of an executive fragrance, more like when you're doing business. You have your suit on and you going to close a deal, or you going to work, or
If I had these on, if I got these on right now, I should according to him, which scent should I have on?
Well, you're laid back right now. You relaxing, and you got on your vegan shirt. I would say right now you would have on the white.
But I am doing business promotion. RedBlackandVegan.com. Today's producers, along with the St. Louis Cannabis Club and the Cola Lounge. Remember, give us a phone call at 515-599-1687. 515-599-1687. If you want to talk to me, K Swift, the Road Tripping Vegans, RedBlackandVegan.com. Here on High Off the Glass. Learn Something podcast with Damien Hill mashup. We got the whole family hustle to represent today with my man Keith Swift. White. My bad. Y'all know I'm a little intoxicated. But give me your thoughts on me and Justin was speaking a little earlier, because me and you done had some conversations about Project 2025. What you think about some of the things that you've heard or read?
Well, the things that I've read about it, I don't really see what the big hubbub is about, because, and the only reason I say that is because everything that I've read, they're currently doing right now. So you ain't really got to wait to 2025. Just kind of look out your door. You're going to see everything in 2025 right now. So to me, it just seems like a big scared type. I'm trying to scare everybody to.
No, it's a whole lot of unwritten. Well, I ain't gonna say unwritten, but it's a whole lot of written stuff. It's super foul. It's very foul. I encourage anyone.
But what I'm telling you is,
I know
they doing it right now.
Yeah, true.
You ain't gotta wait to 2025.
It's just a specific guideline that they had, or playbook that they going by. So it's like anybody. It's like anybody who's on that Kamala Harris locked up a lot of black dudes and blah, 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 and all that. So did Bill Clinton. And y'all love Bill Clinton. So it's like, hey, you can't let, and I ain't trying to make things political, but what this dude trying to do, you might as well go and buy you some of them gold shoes if you're gonna vote for Trump, for real. That's just straight up. I ain't gonna front. The shoes ain't that bad. If you take away some of the red, white, and blue stuff, they would be some cool little shoes. I wouldn't wear them because it's 3 stripes and only for me. But it's on. Hey, for you Trump supporters, why y'all don't throw the gold shoes on? That's what I want to know. If you really a Trump supporter like that, put the gold shoes on and let it be known. See how far you get down the street.
Yeah, I don't. I looked around. I don't like either one of the candidates, to be honest with you. Nobody's really speaking to my needs or my wants or any of that. So I try to stay out there politics, if unless it's something that interests me. You know what I'm saying? It's nobody speaking to me or speaking to me about anything or my people. So I don't really push neither one of them for real.
How do you how do you think or feel about the word inspiration?
That's a
Real quick.
great word, inspiration. It's the spark of creativity, the whatever your muse is, whatever drives you or gets your hunger up for something. So inspiration is very, very good word. I've been inspired by so many people and so many different things in my life that it drove me to do certain things that I've done. So yeah, that's a very great word, inspiration. I
Well,
can't say enough about inspiration.
yeah, I bring that up because we really good friends, and this man has inspired me a few different ways. Cause few years ago when he told me that he wasn't smoking no more, I literally could not believe that. I mean, I was like, "You for real?" He was like, "Yeah, I don't smoke no more," and it was inspiring me a little bit. It didn't get that far, but there were other things that you was doing in life, and through our different conversations, I was able to tell how much your mentality had changed, and it was really inspiring to hear different things that you was doing, whether if it was physically with working out or just different things you was doing mentally, spiritually for one, for sure, for first and foremost, and then like mentally I could tell, because it was a lot of things that during conversations that you would say, as far as just like, man, I don't hang around such and such no more, or I'm trying to get my mind more focused on business. I'm trying to get my mind more focused. Period. Point blank. So, like the other day, you ain't answer my text. I sent you a text from the locker room at Planet Fitness. I'm like, this look familiar, because you inspired. You was one of the people that inspired me to start working out, because like on a daily basis, you was like, man, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to the gym, and I hadn't worked out in 20 plus years, for real. I mean, besides you and my wonderful woman, it was like one thing that we had talked about before as well was like not procrastinating on things anymore. You know what I'm saying? Putting action to words and ideas. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that's really inspiring me to do some of the things that I'm trying to do, just because our relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Well, one thing I want to say is, if you see yourself in the future or even in the present, you see yourself wanting to do something different, you need to clean up your environment around you. You need to assess who are you spending your time with and what is their outcome. If it's an outcome that you think is positive and you want to emulate that, then you emulate that. But if you hanging around a lot of people, and I know this could be family, this could be friends, people you're familiar with, you're used to them, they've
It could
always
be
been there.
anybody.
But is it conducive to you growing and going to where you want to be? Is the thing, and it doesn't mean that you don't love them, and when you see them again, it's not still the love and all of that. But you're gonna have to distance yourself if you want something different. You're gonna have to distance yourself. You're gonna have to push yourself. You're gonna have to step outside of your comfort zone that I'm always used to. Try something new, and it may be scary at first, but you're gonna have to push yourself. If you want something different, you're gonna have to push yourself. It's just simple as that. And I would suggest that we only got 24 hours to deal in a day anyway. You need to find a way to make those 24 hours
Count.
as constructive and creative, and make them count as you can. You realize that life is short. I lost a lot of friends. I was just thinking that the other day that so many of my friends that I grew up with that didn't make it to 21, that didn't make it to 25, and those people didn't get a chance to evolve and become maybe something more than they were at the time. So I just try to cherish these moments that I have, appreciate it, and appreciate the journey too. It ain't always about just getting there. I see myself somewhere and I'm getting there. No, you got to appreciate the journey that you taking, the ups, the downs, the setbacks.
Boy.
Things ain't gonna always go positive your way and how you want them to go. You may have a plan, and I got this plan set up like this, and then somebody throws a roadblock at you. You find out this. The problem is you're gonna have to. It's gonna always be a problem.
I'm listening, but I'm partially amused because I got a lot of things going on in my head when I'm hearing these words. Because for one, first and foremost, it's part of the Learn Something podcast with Damon Hill, which is, excuse me, intelligent dialogue between men, showing other men how you can glean information from someone else who's very close to you, or even if they ain't close to you, to be able to understand how to do that in a brotherly relationship with no problem and no issue, because it's never been a situation where I've been envious of him or he been envious of me. It's just been a respect type thing since we first met. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just, like I say, listening to your words, because it's always on my mind about men sharing game with each other. And that's what game truly is, just sharing information, not nothing, anything like the negative connotation towards that word. Like you were speaking about earlier, like the negative connotation towards hustle is that as well. But when you were saying appreciating the journey, I got my mind immediately thought about, well, we got a journey. We talk about Memorial Day 2003, that journey to Atlanta. That's what I'm saying, man. Me and this dude, hey, y'all don't know. We was planning on going. Remember we was talking about going on Jerry Springer. Hey, we had timed it out. We was like, hey, it takes Steve 9 seconds to get to the stage. We can get off about 2-3 shots, and we cool. Then we can start our own show.
I remember plans that we had that were worse than that, but
Oh yeah. You gotta say we ain't gonna speak on some of that other stuff.
But
One thing, like I said, my mind, it goes to so many different areas, and what I would like you to speak about is the last few years. People think things are just so violent here in St. Louis. They see these national stats or whatever per se, and you don't have people who brag about it. What the point I'm about to get to is we don't brag per se, but you think when we think back to like 91, 92, 93, 94, this really does not compare to what we saw back then. If you think am I?
no,
It's just more media. It's just more social media now, more access now. But cause think about it, man. 93, it was a murder record set.
yeah. I lost a lot of friends, and that between 90 and 94, I lost a lot of people.
And we didn't think about making it to this point that we at now,
Nah.
where where people look at you like, "What's up, OG?" and all of that. And it's a great honor, just to be respected by people you know or don't know for making it to a quote unquote older age. I mean, if y'all think this is old, this ain't really all that old for real. It's just 52.
And it was one thing that I was gonna say when I was talking about that journey that you got to go through to get to wherever you're trying to get to.
Right.
It's gonna always be a roadblock, and
How you deal with it.
that and just know that when you start, it ain't gonna go like I planned it. I got it set up like this, but I know something's gonna happen. The key is to find your way through or around that problem, no matter what it is, because it's always going to be something. I know people who have hit roadblocks and they just got defeated, and man, every time I try to do this or do that, it don't never work out. That's going to happen. The key is, and what shows who you are and the grit within you, is to navigate your way around it, because there's always an answer for every problem. It's just you have to find that answer, whatever it is. And it's basically just overcoming that obstacle to get from point A to point B. So that's what I would tell, if I could give any advice to a young person that's, want to do something different with their life, and they see themselves somewhere else, and, go for it. And just know that there are going to be roadblocks. There are going to be stumbling. There are going to be people in your way. There are going to be people who's telling you can't do this or you can't do that. Ignore all of that, because there is an answer for everything. So if you keep that in mind when you start your journey, it'll be much, much easier to deal with when you do run into something. You're going to be like, I knew something was coming. It's just like, now I need to navigate my way or find a way around whatever obstacle it is. Don't matter what nobody say. Make your own rules. Like I say, I never was the type to cookie cutter or fit inside the box anyway. So I'm always looking for a different avenue anyway. And that's how you have to be when you trying to do something you want to do in life.
I understand completely. Well, with that being said, that's a pretty nice cigar you got over there. I've been wanting to ask you. I'm about to ask you now. When, because like I said, I know you 420 free, disrespecting the show high off the glass. But that's a whole nother story. That's cool though.
Well, we know how it used to be, so.
Oh yeah. So did them sheriffs in Georgia too. Dude say we cool. Like, no, we not. We woke up, the police pulled us over. We straight. I'm like, we not cool. It's 9-something in the morning. We in the middle of nowhere.
I probably shouldn't have been doing 120 through Dalton County, huh?
Yeah. God brought us through. That was one of my original weed stories. We had a ball. That was Memorial Day 2003. Yeah, we had a ball in Atlanta. That was my first time going to Atlanta. Shout out to my cousin Kelly. We hooked up with her when I came
Shout out to Kelly.
Yeah, we had a ball. We had a straight. What was it? In Decatur, where it's greater. We went to that club 2 nights in a row. We shut that club down 2 nights in a row. If anybody in Decatur, Georgia, knows
that was the livest club
about the club Dudley's.
Dudley's
hey man, oh my God, we had a ball up in there. That was ridiculous. But we were staying in Bankhead. I don't want to say Buckhead.
We was in Buckhead.
Yeah, I feel like the dude on the outcast.
Oh, you'd have knew if you was in Bankhead. Trust.
Yeah, we was in Buckhead at MC Sweets. That's what, because I had a 3-day pass. That's what it was. Yeah, we had a ball. But when did you get into cigars? And what kind of cigar is that?
This is a rum flavored. I picked up the cigar thing when I was in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
I was in Puerto Rico, and I was at a real high-end bar, I guess you would say. I don't know if it was a bar.
A cigar bar or just a regular bar?
More of a cigar bar, because everybody was smoking cigars.
That's a cigar
and
bar.
And I said, let me try one hand roll. So let me try one. And I did it and kind of liked it, Now, it's more of a social thing, but I picked it up, liked it. Now I've just been experimenting with different flavors and brands and, different ones that I like.
You remember that last scene on Half Baked?
Probably.
When he threw that joint over the bridge?
Yeah.
And that joint screamed at him. You'll be back. Come on back home, man. It's cool. We chilling
man,
over here.
you know what? I like my money.
I understand
I
that.
like my
I
money,
understand
so that cut into the budget a little bit. So
that. Yeah, 'cause pretty soon I ain't gonna be high off the glass.
right, see there. You
For
gonna
real.
come, you gonna come over slowly but surely. But
Oh,
yeah,
I
I
am.
had I had such a bad habit at one time of that it wasn't
Oh,
really doing nothing for me no more.
oh yeah, that's when it's time to stop.
Yeah, so it
Yeah,
was like I'm just throwing money away because I ain't
right.
even feeling the effects of this like I'm supposed to. So
Yeah, I just moved progress to these, and these are beautiful.
what are those?
These are tobacco-free, nicotine-free, and hemp-free, made from tea leaves. Um, I'm a brand ambassador, technically, for high tea wraps.
Tea wraps,
High
huh?
tea wraps.
Never heard of those. That's different.
But the difference between those and the ones with hemp make me crave tobacco. These, once again, if you're looking for that high feeling and you don't want that tobacco aftertaste, you need to come smoke with high tea wraps. Honey flavor, endorsed by redblackandvegan.com and the Road Tripping Vegans. And Learn Some podcast with Damon Hill. And high off the glass, because high tea wraps, take it from a smoker. I don't even want to use blunts no more. That's for real. That's straight up. On my grand outro with marijuana, I'm going out with these.
Now those green tea or
These wild honey, high tea flavor,
okay.
high tea leaves. These are the closest thing that you can get to a blunt without no tobacco flavor. This is ridiculous. These man, please, I can smoke these all day long, like Benson and Hedges.
Well, if I still indulged, I probably would
What
check
you
them
should
out.
do, you should cut one of them blunts, one of them cigars open, roll it in one of these.
Why would I do that?
That's why you don't
Why would
add
I
hot
take
people
a
nothing.
perfectly good rum flavored?
No, but excuse me, I'm sorry. But I'm really glad that you got a chance to come by here today. Once again, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors, the St. Louis Cannabis Club and the Cola Lounge. Remember, if you want to give us a phone call, it's 515-599-1687. But we're not finna go anywhere just yet. Still want to let people know about the new show that we got coming from the Road Tripping Vegans, presented by redblackandvegan.com. Tequila and Tofu coming very soon on this very channel, station, whatever you want to call it. But it will be the plant-based podcast. And you guys are invited to be guests.
Okay.
It's all about healthy living.
Okay.
It's not just about, eating plant-based.
Yeah, I also stopped eating meat.
Oh well, congratulations! Oh my God, this is
Well, it's
man,
kind of old.
uh,
We a couple of years deep at this point.
We got somebody who finally seen the light. Man, oh man, we gonna say that to the beam. And what I mean by that is, please explain to people exactly what brought that thought process about that change in thinking. How long has it been, and what effects have you seen on your life, whether it be physical, mental, spiritual? Right now, we're having a plant-based takeover on the High Off the Glass. Speak on that, sir.
It's been about 2.5 years since I stopped eating meat. I don't feel as heavy and sluggish as I used to. I don't have a lot of the digestion problems that I was having, and using the restroom problems that come with eating meat. And what's the craziest thing? I thought I was really gonna miss meat. Once I stopped, and it really hasn't been that bad actually. It's not bad at all. Actually, I actually like it. I eat a lot of fish, a lot of plant-based stuff. and that's going pretty good. Now, I would say anybody who's
Oh, so you say you still eat fish,
yeah, still eat all kind of fish,
but everything else.
seafood. Yeah,
So you right there at the border.
yeah. I haven't quite went vegan per se, but I don't eat meat. Hey, I like me some shrimp.
We gonna take back all the props we gave him. No, no, it's cool though. It's cool. It's understandable. We don't try to force nothing on nobody. But seriously though, the things that you were saying as far as the different changes you can feel within your own system, which is great. I didn't see you making. I know you already did like to cook, but just go ahead and cut that cheese out, cut that dairy out. You be good.
Yeah, I don't really do a lot of dairy though. I mean, I haven't drank dairy milk, in it's got to been at least about 10 years at this point.
Go ahead and cut that fish out. You ain't gonna miss nothing.
Oat milk.
That fish ain't gonna. You ain't missing nothing with that fish. Trust me.
I don't know, man. A good piece of salmon.
Good piece of jackfruit. With some fish seasoning.
Jackfruit is good as well.
Good piece of what is it? Hearts of palm.
Also with lion's mane. Yeah.
I'm talking about just things that's used to make fish. Soursop.
Well, maybe when I get that advanced, I haven't gotten that advanced yet. I just started tasting stuff like that, and it's pretty good actually.
Hey, I'm having a ball.
It's pretty good. I just came across I think it was a hamburger that was made out of nuts, which was different, and it was delicious.
Walnuts.
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
You remember you that when you had it? Did somebody make it at home, or somebody brought it from somewhere?
I believe I had it at a restaurant. Now I don't remember which, because I go out and eat at a lot of different places.
How about on one of these weekends, you want to get together and do a review with the Road Tripping Vegans?
That'd be great.
Hopefully it won't be in St. Louis. Hopefully it will be a road trip, but if not, we do something in St. Louis. It's all good, because we all about just advancing the culture. Point blank. Point blank. One of my favorite MCs, KRS-One. Got to learn something, and no goat, no turkey, no.
Now I got a hip hop question for you. Now, how do you feel about these older rappers that we looked up to coming out and pretty much downing, changing the narrative of hip hop, as far as saying that we weren't the sole contributors and creators of this art form?
How you mean? You mean
as in the KRS-Ones, the Fat Joes, the Busta Rhymeses, the MC Shans. I don't know if you've heard about the comments they've been making as far as saying that other people.
I heard something about people was trying to exclude Latinos.
I don't know about exclude. I think Latinos were like the first students of hip hop. So. They came later on.
I'm trying to understand your question. People saying like we weren't the originators.
Like we weren't the only sole creators of hip hop.
Who else created it?
Well, they're saying that Jamaicans, Caribbeans, they're saying
man, hold
Puerto
on,
Rican.
they better go on somewhere with all that.
I was just wondering what your views were, because I know you a
the first
hip
time
hop
I
person.
heard that shit.
Yeah,
man, I ain't never heard that. What man? Hey,
yeah, I might have to show you
I got
some
love
stuff.
with a whole lot of for a whole lot of Jamaicans. Man, like I was just.
I do as well.
Ironically, we was just listening to a cut by Nas and Damien from that distant relatives album on the way down
I know
here.
exactly what you're talking about.
No. That's not. I'm not even entertaining that bullshit. You might as well tell me the Sky Purple. Fuck out of here with all of that. Talking about we ain't the ones who originated hip hop, man. Please, no, that's a no go. We don't even nah. But thankfully, we finally been graced by the presence of your better half. She's finally arrived. That's great. You know, we gonna let her get herself adjusted, and pretty soon she gonna be here spitting some knowledge for real. But to get back to what you were saying though, man, no, that's a no. That's a complete no go. To say that we didn't start that, I mean, what do you think Kool Herc was doing?
Well, true enough, Kool Herc was from Jamaica, but
He was living in the Bronx.
yeah, and he didn't
CD
really
and
bring
Sedgwick.
any of the Jamaican influences into hip hop.
On that picture, on the pictures and videos I seen when he had the long speakers in the car, he wasn't playing Jamaican music.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I don't know what the fucking discussion is about. I
Okay,
mean,
it's been a whole hubbub about the hip hop,
man, hey,
genre right
going
now.
somewhere with all that. I ain't trying to hear none of that. I'm the hip hop vegan myself. People know that. But nah, no, we didn't start that. Nah, hell nah. Ain't man, please. Now it's a lot of Jamaican influences at the beginning.
I don't
Not
even
not,
see
not,
that.
not so much at the beginning, but when things started growing, because KRS had a Jamaican influence when he first came. Run DMC, they had, even though it was kind of gimmicky, I ain't gonna say gimmicky, but roots rap reggae.
But that was all later on.
That's
Hip
still
hop
late
had
80s.
been going 10+
Yeah,
years.
that's what I'm saying. So why would they think? No. Now, that is something that's been on my mind lately. Though I'm glad you said that because I was looking at Spice One on the episode of Drink Champs a couple weeks ago, and they didn't really speak to him about that like they should have to just get into how, because remember how he would come with that Jamaican cadence, and back then it was a whole lot of Jamaican
No
rapped
doubt.
into hip hop, but
No
it's
doubt.
like that got pushed to the side like within the last 20 years. Like they don't even fuck with reggae.
Yeah,
no more.
once hip hop was up and rolling and was a thing, we brought all kind of influences in from the Caribbean, from all over the world. I've seen influences from all over the world once it was already going and a thing, and people found out they could actually make a living and money off of it. Then you get influences from everywhere at that point.
But what I'm saying is, that's like when we used to look at let's say what was it Caribbean Jam? That's when we Rachel.
Yeah.
You still would see hip hop mixed in with reggae. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Even like the beginning of reggaeton
No
and all
doubt,
of that.
no doubt.
But now you don't even hear no kind of reggae influence on a hip hop song.
Yeah, that's
what I'm saying. Like KRS One had hip hop Jamaican songs. you see what I'm saying? Like done in a Jamaican. Spice had,
Yeah, the difference I would say in hip hop now and then is back then the artists kind of drove and pushed the genre to levels. It was artists trying new things and they were pushing the culture. Whereas I see now it's more of a corporate pushing of the culture. It's all money based now. It's all where that's why I say you had so many different types of rappers when we were coming up. You had the lightweight Fresh Princes and Keep It Light and Fun. You had the Public Enemies that were serious and conscious, and the whole native tongue thing with the De La's and the Jungle Brothers and the Tribe Called Quest. You had so many different genres. You could go listen to a Lil Kim and then come and listen to Queen Latifah, or you just had a balance. It was more of a well-rounded balance. Where now is just all about sex, and it's more one track.
Nah.
Yeah, it's more one track than it was.
You mean these wholesome, beautiful young ladies? They're just dancing.
I mean, you do have people like a Rhapsody, but she's not even really promoted or pushed publicly like that. It's more of an underground thing. If you want to hear some females talk about something other than their physical gifts, we just gonna say that. You know, and I ain't gonna name no names because we all know who the top characters are and pushing all of this extra stuff. The grown folk stuff, I should say.
This is an adult show.
You know,
I heard it's unfortunately, we actually we going past our time a little bit. Thankfully, our producer's gonna let us go a little bit.
Okay.
While we waiting. But along the lines of what we talking about, I seen a new one the other day. Some new chick. Man, it was wild. She make Sexy Red seem like a church girl.
Yeah, it's a couple of new.
I was
new
like,
girls
man,
out
is
here.
she really singing that? And it was the same kind of thing where she took an old school nursery rhyme melody and just
Yeah,
pouring
I've seen
it out.
that. I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, I was like, come on, man, are you serious? Really?
Yeah, I mean, when people see they can make money making a certain genre and get on, you know.
This one you can do. Man, I'm looking at this. I'm perusing through Instagram, and I see some dude with the Kai Sanat dude, whoever this dude
Okay.
is. He
I know him.
got
I know
some
him.
girl named Ice Spice.
Know her?
He
Yeah.
telling her to freestyle. Now you used to freestyle.
Yeah.
Guess what her freestyle was?
What was it?
She turned around and started twerking, and she said, "That's my freestyle."
And I hate for that image for our
Man, they lit her
young
up
ladies.
In the comments, they was like, "That's what happens when you don't have no talent."
Yeah, it's I ain't gonna say she ain't got no talent.
She ain't got no talent. I can say it. Hey, I mean, what? If anybody know Ice Spice, let me turn my camera around. I don't even rap no more, and I barely did rap, but I could out rap her. So I'm challenging Ice Spice to a freestyle battle. We can do a versus. Straight up. I know I'm gonna win. I ain't even worried about it. I don't even care if she can get somebody to write something for her. So whatever. They say
That's what I'm saying.
Whatever,
It goes
man.
back to the,
Whatever. I ain't worried about nobody.
all you have to do is talk about sex and what you can do in the bedroom, and now it's instantly to be on. If you a attractive female, that is,
You don't even have to be that.
yeah, it's
You
like
just talking to be willing to talk like Vanessa Del Rio.
exactly, and you can be on, and that's unfortunate because I know there are some talented sisters out here that don't necessarily need to show they body or talk like that to get their point across. And I will be glad when that makes comes back around. I say that. Because hip hop is an evolution thing. It's always evolving. Just like we going through this little phase right now with the over sexualizing of our women and that kind of thing. But
How you feel about the Kendrick and the Drake beef? Specifically,
I
how you feel
loved
about
it.
the song?
I actually loved it. I think it's a bit of a distraction from what the serious things that we got going on, but you always need a distraction. You can't just be serious all the time and concentrating on what's going on all the time. So I think it was good because it hasn't degraded into violence or somebody getting killed or something like that. We've seen battles turn into dangerous events. Thank you, baby. We've had rap battles that have turned deadly and, cost us legends and, that kind of thing. So I will say I like it for that aspect.
All right.
Rick Ross, that's another story. But, You know, it hasn't devolved at this point into
Officer Ricky.
anything. Right, it hasn't devolved into anything super negative. They kept it on wax. I think it was a really good handling of Drake because we've never seen Drake actually take a L that was so decisive like this. So,
I don't even fuck with him, so whatever. Shout out to Mrs. White finally joining the show today. That's Arthur Laveau White. Wait a minute, hold on. Let's make sure that we have proper due. Hold on. He doing his own edit. That's on the, from the Biggie last freestyle. Nah, but no, this is a beautiful woman. I truly love her. She's a wonderful woman. But thank you for finally joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me. This
Oh.
is an honor.
Oh, thank you so much. I was trying to do it. We've been talking for a while, and I was trying to do a little background in work before I got here, though. You are a very accomplished author. How many books was that? I counted 4. Is it
I've
5?
actually written 6.
6?
Written and published 6, and converted 2 of them into screenplays. I'm also working on a series of shorts that I'm about to start a channel for called Prophetic TV. And just like my books, basically, they're all based around making people think about and question their morality.
Now, excuse me. I'm sorry. Now I asked your husband, uh, what, when did you develop a love and a start for writing?
Um, since I was a kid, honestly, it just was in different forms. I've always written poetry, and I used to sing. So eventually, I started writing music, and once we got married, just being inspired by him being a writer and just all of that, I decided we need to do something with this talent, right? Not just books, not just, I have visions. We always come up with stuff together, just sitting there, just joking, stuff that we know, okay, this needs to be something. So from that, I'm like, okay, we need to.
That's one thing that I've always admired about you. You've always been very, extremely driven, whether it be, like we was talking about before, the discipline it takes to write a book, and then multiple. That I was like, because I was going to ask you out of your books that have been published or written per se, which one would to you would be your ultimate baby or the one you like the most,
It would have to be the
and
Epiphany.
for what reason? The Epiphany.
The Epiphany. It was the third book I wrote because it was. It took a lot of research for one. It's a book that flashes back to the past, so it wasn't just me writing stuff off the top of my head. I actually wanted to, even though the story was fictional, I still wanted it to be based on facts. So the locations, the places that I wrote about. So if I wrote about slavery in a certain region, I wanted the crop to be correct. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be in Missouri talking about they're growing cotton and it's a tobacco town, or whatever. So it was just a lot of stuff that I had to. Being black doesn't certify me to slavery, so I don't know. I wasn't there. So I still had to do research on my ancestors to see what the environment was, what their living conditions were, what was the standard for that time versus now, and the things that haven't changed so much was part of the reason I wanted to write the book.
One thing that I did want to ask you, because there are a lot of men, there are a lot of women, especially, who like we were talking about before, when you get to a crossroads mentally, where you want to say something, you want to tell something, you don't. But when people think, okay, I want to write a book, I'm gonna just write a book. But to actually, when you make the steps and you to actually go through with those thoughts and that in that process, speak on that if you can about how it goes from that thought to now I've got to put these into action and the actual work that it takes Because some people just think, okay, I'm just gonna get a book published.
Well, I want to first say, just a disclosure, that everybody's thought process is different. So everybody thinks differently, and everybody may not go about doing things. It's more than one way to skin a cat, basically.
Okay.
Um, but in essence, first it's about what is your idea, what is your premise, who is your audience, and what is your genre. You know, you want to be able to um, think about your audience. That the audience is the most important thing, because you can write something that means something to you, but if it's not just a memoir or something that you're writing for yourself, you have to consider the audience. What do you want to relate to them? Are they going to be interested in this? What's your genre? And then you go to putting your papers, your ideas on paper. I personally like to write and then type. It kind of helps me in my editing process or proofreading process, but it's always good to try to outline your ideas, get your characters, visualize your characters. If it's a book, with characters, if it's something where it's a how-to book or something that you're trying to make sure you got your steps down, get as much knowledge on the subject as you can so that you're not giving out incorrect information.
Right.
So it's not just, ooh, let me sit down and write. It takes research. It takes time. And not to discourage anybody, because if it's your passion, trust me, when the product is finished, it's extremely worth it. It's your baby. You're like, my first book, it was like my first baby, my first child. I'm like, oh my God, this is my book. This is mine. I did this.
As a matter of fact, yeah, speak on that real quick, because I always think about. You ever heard the story of from Lisa? Like when she first heard her song on the radio, she was straight up at work. Remember, she said she worked at like a dress store or something. So she at work, and they working, and she heard her shit playing on the radio. Left immediately. Left immediately. So you know what I'm saying, like when you first see like you done got published, or was it paperback or hard?
It was a paperback, and it was the first copy I saw, of course, was my author copy. But the first time I actually saw my book in a store, I was like, I'm taking pictures. I was like, oh my goodness, because the person actually personally contacted me and was like, I want copies of your book to put in my store, and I was like honored, because she too was an author. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is super cool, right?
What's the author's name?
Brenda Hampton.
Okay.
Shout out to Brenda Hampton.
That's good.
Yeah, she definitely was a part of my writing as well, because she was one of the first professional authors that looked at my writing and was like, you are
Made
very
you feel
talented.
validated?
Oh, absolutely.
How
She was
long
like,
ago
you are
was
very
that?
talented. This was actually right after I wrote The Epiphany, the book that because she went through and proofread that book for me, and she couldn't believe that I had just started writing like 2 years before that. She was like, I can't believe this is, you are really talented.
Oh, that's great.
Don't stop. So,
Okay.
and here we are, and now I'm trying to turn my books into film, so I'm not stopping.
Yeah, your better half was speaking about. He was that I'm just laughing because that's what he said about you. I'm tripping. He was speaking about a couple of movies that y'all got in the works, or things like that sort. If you could elaborate on that.
Yeah, actually, I just literally left. Shout out again to Teamwood Films. I just left a meeting to meet some actresses for the shorts that I'm doing. So we're doing multiple things with them. They're filming a film right now. What is it?
Varsity Life.
Varsity
the
Life.
Thief's theme.
Right. So he actually has a role in there. I made a cameo in there as well, but they're also filming my shorts for me. So it's been a lot of camera time that I wasn't expecting as a writer, but it's been fun.
That's good. That's good. That's really good. Well, we're gonna have to wrap this up. We done went a little long. That's all right. It's all good though. So I'm really glad that y'all got a chance to stop by. The whole family hustle here. These two lovely people. I done learned a lot from both of them, mentally and spiritually. Seriously, when you looking for people who make a difference in your life, you want to always let them know that if you can, in some way, shape, or form or fashion, while you got a chance to, I would encourage everybody to do that, male or female, because we all go through different things in life as adults, and
I agree.
you never know who or where you can get inspiration, like we talked about before, or direction from. Because there are times when, when you're going through things where you don't know where your answers gonna come from, but you never know who God put in your life in a position to tell you something at a different time where you really need it. You may not even know it, because I was put in that position many times, and many times I've had people tell me not to, do something this way, but at least consider a certain way, not just be, pigeonholed or pig-headed per se. Learn, listen, sit back and listen. But if you can, if y'all can tell the people where they can find you at on social media, Mr. White, before we get out of here.
Instagram, Keith Swift. Pretty much Keith Swift on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all of the social forums. Email is kswift@gmail, and that's K-SWIFF, or no, take the dash out, just KSWIFF@gmail. I can be contacted.
That's if people want to buy some cologne.
Oh, all of that. All of that, kswift@gmail for the scents. White number 7, black number 7, and in development, the gray number 7.
And he's also available to do voiceovers.
And bar mitzvahs.
Mrs. White.
The hilarity. You can get my books on authorlaveau.com, and that's authorlaveau.com. I'm on Facebook at Laveau the Novelist White, and Instagram at Author Laveau. And that's it.
Oh, I did want to say one thing. Don't, when you look for me on social media, it's not Keith spelled like it's normally. It's Keef, like beef with a K instead of B. So that's an easy way to Keith Swift. So look me up.
Okay, no, so now say the whole thing all over again and shit, because now you didn't fuck them up. Trust me, I know the public. See, you should go back to smoking weed. That wouldn't have happened. You just messed it all up. That's what happens when you don't smoke weed and you smoke cigars. Once again, you can find me at Learn Something Podcast with Damon Hill on Instagram. The Road Tripping Vegans, redblackandvegan.com. Please go to that website and check us out. If you have a plant-based minority business or any minority business that's plant-based, we ain't looking for no chicken sellers. Nothing like that. But please register your business with redblackandvegan.com. You see the shirt. Represent for the culture. Be on the lookout for the new show, Tequila and Tofu, coming very soon. We want to thank y'all for coming by this afternoon. It was a lovely time. I love these two people right here.
Thank you.
Anytime y'all want to come by and talk about some tequila and some tofu, because we ain't gonna be on. Y'all ain't gonna be on Hot the Glass no more. Y'all gonna be on tequila and tofu, because we know y'all love tequila, right?
Oh, of course.
And we gonna have y'all have some tasty tofu. With that being said, Learn Something Podcast with Damon Hill. We out of here.
Peace.